Paul, one question that I wanted to always ask you was, how do you see the future of transport? Because I think TRL was built, or TRL was set up to build the future of transport. How do you see the whole future of transport looking like in the new world, with autonomous cars, with smart roads, smart cities, and so on and so forth?
Oh, well, thank you for that very easy question, Binu. Luckily, I've got the answer right here. Look, the future transport, what an enormous topic. Transport is fundamental in everyone's lives. It enables the economy, but it enables people to flourish. What we need is for transport to be safer, more efficient. We need it to go away, don't we? Yeah. Don't we spend a lot of too much of our time thinking about transport, trying to work out, the first thing we discussed when we came here this morning was, how did you get here? How was that? Oh, I did the train. No, this was late. And we want a lot of that just to go away. So how do we make it go away? Well, I think technology is the answer. You might expect me to say that, but to make it go away, we have to offload the cognitive work, the effort of thinking about it, working it out, to somebody else. When it doesn't go right, we need someone else to take away the problem of sorting it out. And it's not so much the time it takes; it's how much of our mind it takes. That's the problem with transport, isn't it? We want the things we want to appear at our doorstep magically. We don't want to have to think about it. We don't know. So that's the future of transport. Transport sort of goes away. Who was it who, a famous quote, science fiction author, who said, any sufficiently advanced technology looks like magic? And transport needs to be more magical, doesn't it? In the sense that it just happens. Now, how do we do that? Now you're asking. There's a lot of things that have to happen. And we've got to recognise that transport is a stack of different things. At the lowest level, perhaps, is the infrastructure, the physical, concrete, the steel, the roads, the railways, all the bits and pieces that enable us to know. Then there's vehicles, isn't there? But then on top of that, there are systems. So a bus is far more than a road and a vehicle. It's a timetable. It's a bus stop. It's a network. It's a way of enabling people to use that, and that turns it into an informational problem, a data problem. That means that we can use technology to make it easier. So I think the future of transport is the increasing invisibility of transport.
Oh, that's very nicely said. And I think TRL is working on many of those areas, like fleet management and so on and so forth. iRoads definitely is a classic case of helping improve the time to go from a place to A to place B. And especially when I go around and I see men at work on national highways, I know that it's driven out of a product from TRL.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Yeah. And obviously the delays are causing you curse, but then obviously it's an inevitable evil. So I think iRoads in principle has to definitely help improve the cost of maintenance, or bring down the cost of maintenance significantly, isn't it?
Well, yeah. So iRoads is, so we talk about that bottom layer infrastructure. There's a couple of things actually that we do together on this. So iRoads is a very, very important one, because it's the information about the asset, the physical road, or whatever it may be, that enables you to reduce the cost, ensure that it's a safe, comfortable place to drive around, and that information is stored indeed for National Highways, the UK Strategic Road Network organisation, in iRoads. Yeah. Now we're developing together enhancements to that product, because National Highways is a very sophisticated, high-end user. It's one of the reasons why lots of people around the world are very interested in what they do, because they are good at what they do. Yeah. But there are lots of other organisations who need some of that capability but don't have the skills. don't have the complexity of requirements that someone like National Highways has. And we need to find a way of taking that goodness and making it more easy to access, easier to use, so that, for example, smaller organisations, local authorities in the UK, smaller territories, Malta, for example, would be a good example. Towns, cities can get the benefits of this, even though they don't have lots and lots and lots of experts. And of course, around the world, an awful lot of this infrastructure is managed and operated by private companies, not just public companies. That's true for organisations like ports or airports, who might have quite a big expanse of private land, and yet they need to manage those assets and have people move around them safely. But lots of sort of arrangements around the world where either it's owned by the public sector but it's managed by a private company, or maybe it isn't even owned by the private sector. So there's a whole set of organisations globally who want these benefits, who have these problems that we can address when we can make this product easy to access. They get all the sophistication of the function and the benefit, but without needing all the skills and the technical knowledge to use. Yeah,
I think that you're very right, especially in terms of smaller organizations, because I mean the classic comment that I always make is, if UK National Highways is investing 60 billion in maintenance, and if iRoads can bring down that cost of maintenance, let's say by 5%, you're talking about $500 million.
Exactly.
I mean, not $500 million, probably. Somewhere close to that. So that's a significant saving. So
well, you're absolutely right. And some less developed nations. Of course, a lot of the basic infrastructure is still to be constructed in those nations. There are large parts of the world where some, maybe even most of the road network is in fact unpaved. It doesn't look like a road in a classic Western European engineering sense, but it's a vital artery. And that is a problem that we haven't really addressed. What we have done is, by working with the World Bank and PIARC and various other global organisations, is work on a key piece of tooling, which is what's currently called HDM4. It's going to be redeveloped to HDM5. It's the economic evaluation prioritisation tool used pretty much globally. To justify exactly what you're saying, give an evidence-based version of, well, actually the impact of this intervention will be greater than that one, never mind what this or that politician says. And it is the fundamental tool. If you want money out of the World Bank or the one of the many development banks globally, you pretty much have to present your data in this form. And we together are redeveloping that on behalf of that global community, aren't we? To try and bring more of those benefits to the world. I think a year from now, or at least a couple of years from now, the highway definition management standards that are going to be implemented in HDM5, that's going to be productized together. So that's a future. I think that's a very interesting development work that we're starting now. I think it's already started, but the core development will happen probably 4 or 5 months from now, I believe. No, global impact of our two companies, something I know you are too. I'm extraordinarily proud that we're able to do. And it links directly to this vision of the future. I mentioned the different layers. So we have iRoads, HDM5, as it were, the infrastructure layer. We do work with various companies at the vehicle level, particularly looking about autonomous, driverless technologies. Yes, you mentioned there's some grainy black and white footage that, if you search around on YouTube, you can find of a driverless Renault in the 1960s operating on TRL, saying it's moved on a bit since then. And Nissan, for example, test their technologies in our smart mobility living lab. And then if we think about systems operation, well, then we're talking about Scoot UTC, aren't we? We're talking about how do we coordinate these flows, the new modes, micromobility, active travel, all these new ways of getting around, which I think are going to be are dramatically underrated, actually, and going to be an increasingly large part of this future of transport. And we try and work on all layers of the stack. And all those levels need the insight into people's behaviours that we bring, and the technical expertise that you bring.
Yeah, I think Experion has also been founded on the innovation, the DNA of innovation by starting off only in the evolving technologies. We're talking about 2009-10, but I think it's TRL is science, primarily science and scientists, and Experion is technology. So I think together the marriage can definitely work wonders for the transportation world, bringing in world-class products, and I think that's we should aspire for coming forward.
Well, I the only thing I would argue with you there, Ben, is I would say continue.
Anyway, thanks a lot, Paul. It was great talking to you.
It's always such a pleasure to see you, Binu. And fascinating discussion. I look forward to doing it again soon.
Yeah, sure. Thanks a lot and have a great day.
And you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.